for Grand Union, as we mentioned. He's summoned here. Jamison Powell couldn't catch it cleanly. Now cuts back at the 5, looking for some room near side, and has it. The old miscommit past midfield. Jamison Powell. And Folsom will try and make it an 8-point trip as their first to burn a timeout before the try. Jamison Powell, after Folsom's defense comes away with a stop, with quite the start for the Bulldogs in Sacramento. '49th best player in the ESPN 300, the 5th best among pocket passers. Lions in some trouble, lost the helmet, and they'll blow the play dead. Oh, goodness. I think Grant brought everybody defensively.
Yeah, brought everybody, including me and you, on the blitz on that one.
Well, this isn't all that surprising after the 2 unsportsmanlike penalties we saw before kickoff. And this is quite the situation for the officials to sort out. Number 9, Savion Bandy, if he's hit with a second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty here, his night is over. And he just committed to Wyoming yesterday.
Yeah, not how he wanted to start the game. Unfortunately, once again, you just have to control your emotions in a game like this. He's a very important piece to their defense as well. So that would be a huge loss for the Folsom defense. Excuse me, for the Grant defense.
Savion Bandy announced that commitment to the Cowboys yesterday morning. Chose them over 6 other programs. So a face mask. Among some other penalties against Grant, and Folsom will have an opportunity to retry that 2-point conversion. Isaiah Stephen, big 99 in blue, 6'3", 330-pound defensive lineman for Grant. Yanked the face mask off of Ryder Lyons before Bandy continued to touch him well after the whistle blew.
Yeah, once his helmet goes off, you got to know not to touch him. You have to control your emotions, especially in a big game like this. You need every single player to come on. You need every single player's effort, especially a player that's such an important part of their defense in Savion Bandy.
Well, apparently Savion Bandy, well, they're not sure if he'll be allowed to stay in the game. We do know Folsom will have another opportunity to tack 2 onto that 95-yard Powell punt return to open it up. A straight run for Lyons, and he powers through for 2. And again, pushing and shoving well after the whistles. Well, 6'2", 220 from a yard away. That's not a bad option. Not
at all. Get the ball in the best player's hand on your offense and allow him to take over. I think we're going to see his legs used quite a bit. Battle for the real Death Valley. I think that's going to be a fun one next Saturday night.
Kobe Shabazz, D'Angelo Knight. And it's Knight with an opportunity to return the kick for Grant Union. And gets it out to the 29. 26-yard kick return. An 8-0 start for number 19 Folsom in Sacramento.
92 touchdowns in a single season. I don't think that number will ever be broken.
One of those unbreakable records. Shiran Crump looking for Kobe Shabazz again. And Jason Hill Jr. has been tested early, and he has aced every one of those tests.
He has definitely lived up to the hype. They're still trying to knock on the door of number 19, but he is simply not opening it at all. As you can see, the seatbelt celebration from him, he's done a heck of a job on the outside. He's flashed a lot in this game already. They've tested him twice down the field, and he's been able to remain sticky in coverage and also had the near interception on the earlier drive. So Jason Hill Jr. committed to Stanford, definitely living up to the hype so far.
He committed to Stanford after they parted ways with Troy Taylor. Of course, Andrew Luck very much running the show in Palo Alto, along with Frank Reich, former NFL head coach. He's the interim. And Jason Hill Jr., with some question marks surrounding that program, still electing to pledge his commitment to the Cardinal. And this is Kopi Noah Soy. He's a freshman. And kind of a surprise to see him get the bulk of the carries early.
Yeah, as you can see, a very young backfield for Grant's offense so far. But you can see the coach has a lot of trust in both of these players so far, actually allowing Shiran Crump to throw the ball down the field. They have not been shy with their play calling so far. Just need to clean up a lot of these penalties, especially on the last drive.
Well, it's week 0 for everybody, and Grant has just given us a roster update. That's actually Thorne Watson, who made a late jersey change from 26 to 13 just minutes before kickoff. He's been getting the bulk of the carries early. This is 3rd down, about 3 yards to go, and Watson with the right side surge picks up a new set of downs to the 40. Matson Worm, senior free safety from Folsom, made the stop.
It's a good hard run by Watson right there. As you can see, he's a bigger back at 6 foot, 200 pounds. He likes to get downhill right now. There's no wasted motion with him, keeping his pads low and getting positive yards right there. A big first down for the Grant offense.
So now Tyson Griffin Jr., the 5'9" sophomore tailback, checks in. Folsom opened this game with a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown from the Ole Miss-bound Jamison Powell, then added 2 points on a Rider Lions rush. Open man, it's Tyson Griffin leaking out of the backfield into plus territory down to the 32. It's a 28-yard pitch and catch. Nick Wegener finally brought him down.
Great concept right there. Your traditional post wheel using the running back out of the backfield. Shiran Crump is simply reading the corner here. The corner goes with the post, Jason Hill Jr. They get him on the wheel out of the backfield. Great catch by Griffin Jr. there.
The Pacers on the move, and now a carry for Griffin. Right side near the 25-yard line. Gets 6, maybe 7 on first down. Another tackle from Matson Worm, senior, coming from that Folsom secondary. Well, Grant, they wanted to be physical, maybe a little too physical early, but perhaps settling in on their second drive.
Yeah, if we had $1 for every time Coach Reed said physical in our pre-game meeting, we'd be very rich men. They want to establish the run game and also be physical. He kept repeating that word early on in the week. As you can see, they wanted to establish the run early, but we're starting to see the passing game really come alive here for Grant.
Second down, about 4 yards to go. Grant's first possession worked into plus territory, but they did not come away with any points as Jason Hill Jr. is tested again, and again breaks up the pass attempt for Kobe Shabazz. So Shiran Crump, time and time again, has tried to get Shabazz involved early, and Jason Hill Jr. has had other ideas.
He has. He looks really good so far tonight. Folsom's really trying to speed up the process of Shiran Crump. They ran a double A-gap blitz, just trying to get some pressure in his face. That's why you saw him get the ball out really early right there. But he's still trying to test Jason Hill Jr.
Well, the first penalty of the night against Folsom is a costly one. Roughing the passer penalty will move this thing half the distance to the goal.
Once again, they send a blitz up the middle, but they have to know when to stay off of the quarterback. You can't hit him in the face right there. Some helmet-to-helmet contact. Those are the simple mistakes, the silly mistakes that you just can't have in a game like this, especially playing a young quarterback. You want to take all the opportunities and mistakes that he makes. Now they give him an extra 15 yards there.
Penalty places the Pacers in the red zone for the first time tonight. Trying to answer back. It's Griffin falling forward inside the 10. And a 4-yard run for Tyson Griffin Jr. before the senior safety Dylan Wolf dragged him down.
And Griffin's been a huge part of this offense during his time with the program, during their title runs. He's been a big piece of what they've been able to do. You see him incorporated in the receiving game. You see him involved in the passing game as well. They're doing a good job of utilizing and showcasing his skill set.
Final 3 minutes of the opening quarter from Sacramento. Two local powerhouses squaring off tonight. Tyson Griffin Jr. powers his way for 6. And the Pacers punch back.
It's a great job by Griffin. He is a true one cut and go back. He is a zone runner. As you can see, they're using him on those inside and outside zone runs. When you're running those zone runs like that, you want to see those running backs put their foot in the ground and get downhill. That was a great job by him right there on that touchdown run.
Jose Romero knocks through the extra point.
If you don't have one of those guys, especially on the collegiate level, you have no chance of sustained excellence with your program.
Folsom's 8 points courtesy of a punt return for a touchdown and a 2-point conversion that was successful from a yard out. Grant responded on their second possession, and that's where we sit in the final
song on defense. But a lot of those guys have graduated and went on to Power 4 schools. This offense has to be the catalyst of this year's Folsom team.
It was an explosive offense a season ago. 90 touchdowns on the year for Folsom. As it goes to the outside, Jamison Powell, who had the punt return earlier, off to the races.
DC in that explosive high-octane offense with Lane Kiffin.
Empty set here on a new set of downs. It's Isaiah Williams, the Nevada commit, on that tunnel screen. And into Grant territory. They'll spot him out shy of the 45. Isaiah Stephen, from his defensive line spot, got to the perimeter to force him out. But it's a new set of downs for Folsom.
And they operate very quickly, and Lions has a litany of weapons to throw to. You're going to hear the names Isaiah Williams, Jamison Hill, Jason Hill Jr. He has a lot of weapons to throw to in this offense.
First carry of the night for Joseph Ironman, junior tailback, who had just 10 carries all of last year. Does hold an offer from Sacramento on ESPN earlier today down in Fort Lauderdale. This one shaping up to be quite the contest tonight in Sacramento out west, as Robbie Larson hauls in his first pass with a marker down and the ball spot near the 25. Larson, the 6'3" junior wide receiver tight end hybrid, just picked up his first SEC offer from Vanderbilt last week. Penalties have been costly this opening quarter at home for Grant Union.
A lot of penalties early on in this one. Explosive offense like this, you don't want to give them those extra opportunities and give them a shorter field. Folsom moves really, really fast, as you can tell. High up-tempo offense.
Per game last season, went 12-2. Lost in the Northern California Regional title game to Pittsburgh High School, as Ironman stopped after a short gain on his second carry. Gio Hodge, the junior defensive tackle, made the stop. 3-star prospect. Isaiah Williams' second catch will set up Folsom with third down. A designed run. Lions cuts left. Spinning towards the goal line and powers it in for 6. Sudit Ganguly, his first ever game of organized football. Has a soccer background, but knocks through his first career point after try to make it 15-7 full.
Defense with his out of structure play too.
Ganguly, who just knocked through the point after try. It's D'Angelo Knight's second kick return. Across the 35, still upright and pushed backwards. 21 yards on the kick return with another marker down.
During the return, personal foul. Face mask.
That'll move the football up to midfield. Second time E.J. Coleman has been penalized at a roughing the passer on Grant's previous possession. And this drive will start at the Folsom 49. Tyson Griffin Jr. running in Grant Union's first score of the new season on their last drive. This time Thorne Watson, the feature back, as Shiran Crump drops. Now he'll run and stumbles inside the 45, gets 5 yards on first.
I'm excited to see how that turns out.
15-7 Folsom at the end of one. Grant Union with the football. Shiran Crump steps away from contact and scampers out 2 yards shy of the line to gain. August Dupree forced him out. A lot of penalties. That was with the
quarterbacks early
recruit in
on
the ESPN
their
Junior
team.
300.
This is his first career start, so the game is still moving a bit fast for him right now. And you can tell just because he's overly relying on his legs a little bit too much. Right now, there's some guys down the field. Just needs to be a little bit more patient.
Sacramento State-bound Kobe Shabazz.
No doubt about it. They'll be going for it.
Grant Union also has a quarterback that transferred in from Folsom in the offseason. He's third down at 6, but because of CIF rules, he's not eligible until game 6. This area of the field. Carl Reed earlier in the week
thinking ahead.
Get the sense that he might have been the starter if eligible tonight.
Yeah, it just shows how deep this roster is as well. But valuable reps for Shiran Crump.
Did win a CIF section championship last year.
Step up and right in. It's cover 0 right here, which means it's straight out man coverage, and they're going to blitz him. So he's got to get the ball out really quickly.
Defensive end. Limits down to a 4-yard run. Here comes the pressure.
Crump is getting a little bit impatient in the offense. He has.
Dante Kendrick and Gabe Anderson put an end to the Grant Union possession as they get through and bring down Shiran Crump for a loss for the first time tonight. Has run in a 2-point conversion. He's also run in a touchdown tonight. And this is just the second possession for the offense as Williams has room on the tunnel screen. 2 markers down near midfield.
Referees have had a very busy evening so far.
This will be the 10th penalty of the night between these two.
Ref check. 1, 2, 3.
A block in the back penalty will negate the catch and run for Isaiah Williams. The first down and 9 after the penalty, something you don't hear every Saturday. Low snap. Lyons rolls out, stays on his feet, keeps it alive, and takes a big hit, and it was late. And Malachi Harris delivered the big blow on Ryder Lyons.
Let your emotions get the best of you, especially in a big game like this. You're playing against an explosive offense too. just know the quarterback's going out of bounds, so you have to do your best to just pull up as best as you can right there. Once again, don't let your emotions get the best of you. Once again, a penalty, just killing the Grant Union team so far.
And this penalty moves Folsom to the Pacer 42. Trying to stretch this lead to 2 possessions. Quick toss from Lyons finds Robbie Larson, his second catch tonight. And he drags a pile of Pacers right near that first down. Robbie Larson, 23 catches last year. More than 10 Division I offers. Lots of power conference programs have interest in the 6'3" junior. Robbie Larson, 23. Big Folsom offensive line to find Ryder Lyons in the backfield. But this might go against the Pacers again. Another personal foul penalty against the Pacers. And twice.
Referees, once they blow the whistle, they're looking to call things after the whistle, especially anything that's extra.
Joseph Ironman trying to find a surge along that left side, but doesn't have anything. Savion Bandy makes another play for the Grant Union defense.
And he's flashed a lot on this drive. The 5'11", 185-pound senior who plays the rover in this defense. So he plays a lot of different positions. Very physical, really good as a run stopper, but he's really shined in coverage as well tonight.
Larson motions out of the backfield. Lyons lofts it back of the end zone. Jamison Powell on 4th and goal. Folsom will settle for a field goal attempt. We mentioned this is the first organized football game for Sudit Ganguly, who Paul Doherty found messing around kicking soccer balls through the uprights at a park in Folsom earlier this summer. Ganguly's first attempt, wide left. And Grant Union's defense bends, but they do not break. Missed field goal keeps this a 1-possession game late night in Sacramento.
Quarterbacks that are highly regarded in NFL draft circles, and also the Battle of Death Valley. A big opportunity for both of those programs to open the season in week 1.
Grant Union's offense takes over after a Folsom missed field goal, and Shiran Crump will walk out of bounds across the
for a very, very interesting matchup in that one.
My question is, can LSU shake their week 1 demons? Back-to-back losses in Vegas to Florida State a few years ago, and then USC got them in week 1 last year. Rosario Edwards, top 60 prospect in our ESPN Junior 300, finally targeted, but into double coverage it went, and over the head of Edwards for an incompletion. It brings up 3rd down, about 3 yards to go for Grant Union.
You want to put a high for a big target like that, but that was even out of the reach of Rosario Edwards right there. He just, once again, Shiran Crump just has to settle in. Of course, it's okay that he throws the ball high right there, but just a little bit too high, especially for a 6'6" target. Just still has to calm down. We have to remember this is his first start, so he's still trying to work out some of those jitters, but still needs to target Zoe Edwards right there. I don't think that's going to be the last target that he gets of the night. I think they're still going to continue to use him in some way.
A 4-star prospect has visits lined up to Oregon, Ole Miss, UCLA, and USC later this fall. Tyson Griffin Jr. is wrapped up and dropped for no gain. Lua DeBerry, junior defensive tackle of the Folsom Bulldogs, with offers from San Diego State and New Mexico at the FBS level. And, well, this area of the field, it would be surprising to see Grant keep the offense out there.
Looks like they are.
Folsom looks confused defensively, and the Bulldogs take a timeout. All right, each team with one timeout remaining. Final 6:44 of the second quarter.
They get him to jump off sides and see if they play.
And now the punter, Sosianoa, moves back to take the snap. He does get it away. Daniel Eagleton on the return for Folsom. Eagleton to the outside. Across midfield before he's pushed out. And another marker comes in right back near where Eagleton caught it.
Looks like it may be a block in the back on Folsom.
You suppose Grant did that to make sure Jamison Powell wasn't on the field to return another punt?
Maybe so. He's so dangerous back there. He's already got him one time on one punt return. So I'm pretty sure the special teams coach has told him, don't kick it to number 2.
Okay, so this possession starts at the 17 for Rider Lions and Folsom. Missed a field goal on their last trip. Off the play fake. Lions in some trouble. Gets it away. Finds Isaiah Williams. And he's dropped across the 20. Just 4 yards on the catch. Juju Bruno with offers from Oklahoma State and Sacramento State. A rising sophomore. Poised for a breakout campaign, made the stop.
It's a great job by him coming up to tackle, especially against an offense like this. You have to come up, rally, and finish guys down on the ground.
Tunnel screen. It's Williams again, this time with some blocking in front. And has the first down as he's shoved out across the 30. Savion Bandy put an end to the catch and run.
We haven't seen a lot of shots down the field yet from Folsom. A lot of side-to-side movement with the pass game. A lot of quick screens as well. I think they could look to take a shot down the field here soon.
Lions lets it rip. Larson down the sideline. Touchdown Folsom. 66 yards. Robbie Larson, 5 touchdowns last year, as his first of 2025 from Rider Lions.
There it is. I knew it was coming very soon. A lot of side-to-side movement, trying to lull those safeties to sleep. And that's what they did right there, hitting them on the wheel route right there down the field. That was a great throw and catch, finishing the play there.
Mentioned Larson picked up his first SEC offer from Vandy last week. And with what he's put together this first half, perhaps a few more are on the way.
Yeah, that's why I said this passing game is really explosive. They hadn't went down the field yet, just trying to lull those safeties to sleep with so much side-to-side movement. Eventually, you hit them down the field. That's exactly what happened with the throw and catch from Larson, from Lions to Larson there.
There was a marker down after the touchdown because of course. And it was on Folsom. Interestingly enough, Grant Union will take the penalty yardage on the point after try, understanding the lack of experience from Sudet Gangley, playing his first ever game of organized football tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the kicking game, I think this game may come down to that. So just trying to take advantage and keep them with as many points off the board as they can.
So this winds up a 35-yard point after try attempt. This is about where he feels comfortable when we asked him pregame. And some movement might back up Folsom 5 more yards. And perhaps it becomes uncomfortable for Gangley.
Offense is coming back on the field.
For what, a 25-yard two-point try?
I guess so.
Oh, we missed football so much.
shows the confidence that Coach Doherty has in his offense.
It's almost like a late game scenario here. You get one play from about 25 yards away. Folsom did convert a 2-point try from a yard out on a Rider Lions run earlier. This is a little bit different. And Folsom will take its final timeout of this first half. "67 yards moments ago from Rider Lions on his first touchdown pass of the new season to Robbie Larson."
Very accurate throw and catch right there. Great route as well. Just trying to extend the defense down the field. They just lost track of Robbie Larson. Once again, that goes what we talked about a little bit earlier of them hitting them side to side so much they lose track of those guys down the field. I knew one of the down the field shots was eventually coming just because there was so much side to side action that they were doing with the quick perimeter screens.
Bunch of preseason action to wrap up for a good chunk of the league earlier today. Always nice to get things started at the high school level and the college football game. Two of the best in the history of Northern California high school football meeting tonight in Sacramento. And again, this is something you don't see every day. A 23-yard 2-point attempt. Lions lofts it. Larson makes the catch. And now we have seen everything.
Wow, that was an amazing throw and catch right there. But they did the quick motion. So the motion across really messes with the count of the DBs, and it makes them quickly communicate and exchange their responsibilities on that. So that's exactly what they were able to do right there. You can see Jamison Powell coming in motion pre-snap. You can see the safety really standing. He got stuck in the mud right there because the motion really messes with his count on the coverage. So that motion, as quick as it comes, it really messes with his eyes, and that's all Rob Larson needed to get past him right there. Great throw and catch and an awesome play call by Folsom in the next few days.
All right, now a 16-point lead for Folsom. Bulldogs get the football to begin the third quarter. Is this a must-score possession for Grant Union?
Yeah, it is. Especially, you don't want to get behind. You're already behind against this explosive offense, especially with a young quarterback. I want them to find Zoe Edwards more. He hasn't been targeted as much as he needed to be, and then when they did, they weren't able to complete the balls to him. So I think they need to target him more coming out.
D'Angelo Knight's return to the 21. When you look at the Grant Union facing their biggest deficit of the night at home, down 16 to the 19th ranked team in the country. Shiren Crump facing some backside heat, and he lost the football. Shiren Crump did not see the defense coming from the backside and lost it on his way down.
Now, you know, facing a deficit like this, we're going to see defensive coordinator of Folsom, Chris Marshall, start to heat the young quarterback up because now he knows they're in an obvious passing situation now with them being down 2 possessions here. He's going to try to heat the young quarterback up now. That was a great blitz by Jason Hill Jr. just coming on a cap blitz off of the edge, the boundary corner, him getting the big sack.
Well, Jason Hill Jr., we've seen him showcased in coverage tonight, and now on the cornerback blitz, dropping Shiren Crump for a second time, the second sack for Folsom's defense tonight. Jordan Ersick, the defensive coordinator, bringing that pressure on first down. And now Tavio Rios, after Shiren Crump lost his helmet, will come in for the 2nd and 16 snap. Timeout called. Well, Grant Union, the only team that has a timeout left. So it had to have been them. Hey, the all-new ESPN app is here, and for the best experience, all you need to do is follow to get back towards the top of this area in high school football. With 2 state titles the last 3 years. Thorne Watson driven down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. August Dupree, senior defensive end with some Ivy League interest. Yale and Dartmouth have offered. 3.8 GPA helps.
Definitely does. Ivy League interest means that you definitely are very good in the classroom. But the Folsom defense knew right there that there was just no threat of the passing game with Rios in for a play for Shiran Crump. So they just blitzed everybody on that one, sent a run blitz, and was able to create a negative play and forcing 3rd and 17 for the Pacers.
And we'll see what's in Josiah Johnson's playbook. You're needing 17 yards to extend the possession. Pressure comes on Crump. Deep ball. A little too long for D'Angelo Knight. Shiran Crump has been trying to connect with his receivers on those deep balls all night. Has not been able to land one yet. And it's a disappointing 3-and-out possession for Grant Union.
And that's been the theme of the night for the Pacers offense so far. They've had some shots open down the field, but just not able to connect.
And Sosai Noah will be summoned again to punt for a 3rd time tonight. Remember, Jamison Powell of Folsom had a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown to break the seal on the scoring.
And Grant has to be really careful right here because Noah has a really strong leg and he tends to outkick his coverage sometimes here. You don't want to give somebody as explosive as Powell some room to run.
It's over the head of Powell. This is kind of how the punt return for a touchdown began. This time he runs into his own man, and it's a short return to the 30. Lions and Folsom start this possession up 16 points at the 30. Out of the pocket he goes and scoots out of bounds after a run of 5 yards.
It's a good job right there by Grant. Once again, playing that plaster coverage. And what I mean by that is once Ryder Lyons breaks the pocket, whichever man you're
600 yards and ran in 14 touchdowns last year on the slant. That's caught for a 1st down. And it's Jason Hill Jr. playing offense for the 1st time tonight. The Stanford-bound cornerback has his first catch as a receiver. And there's an injured Grant up before the break. Ironman with a right side surge and a crease. Markers down as Ironman leaves the defense in the dust. Well, the first explosive run for Joseph Ironman tonight, likely coming back.
So that would make it a holding call.
Tyron Carter, who was injured earlier, moments ago, a play ago, favoring his right side as he walks off the field. That wipes away what would have been a 54-yard touchdown scamper for the junior Joseph Ironman.
Holding right there on Isaiah Williams on the perimeter. Got to keep your hands inside once that.
1st and 6. Approaching the final 3 minutes of the opening half. A little miscommunication there. Lions will tuck it and makes the most of a broken play. A 3-yard run.
Looks like he was going for an RPO there, but both receivers down here to the bottom, Jamison Powell and Rob Larson, were blocking. So that's why he looked a little confused there and just tried to take off and get something positive out of it.
Been a terrific 1st half for the BYU commit Ryder Lions. Number 49 in the ESPN 300. 5th best pocket passer in the class. He's forced to go out of the pocket here as he... Joseph Ironman, the feature back on a wide 2x2 set. He'll follow Ironman. Ryder Lyons with the first down and then some as he's brought down at the 34. Savion Bandy finally brought him down, but Lyons gets a baker's dozen on 3rd and short.
There's some miscommunication in the middle of Grant's defense. Looked like they were trying to set the front a different way. They had 2 guys in the B gap right there, and for Grant's offense, a run up the middle for Lyons results in a first down.
Tight pocket.
Touchdown offensively.
Jamison Powell, the only receiver in the formation at the top of your screen. And a marker down before the play.
Too many men on the field by Grant's defense.
Been a very frustrating first half at home for Carl Reed and his Grant Pacers. The penalties really starting to pile up.
It's a tight split by Jamison Powell to the top of the screen.
Powell in motion on a quarterback run. Lyons stretching that football towards the goal line, and they'll spot him short. Ryder Lyons bidding for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Stop for Grant's defense. Lyons, he'll try the right side, and he's driven down at the 5. That'll do it for the first half. Folsom comes up. Grant's defense.
I was really surprised by the play calling to end the half. They're going 3 straight runs and ultimately not getting points coming out of the half. So let's see what they do coming out of halftime.
Already some big plays on special teams from Folsom tonight, and Isaiah Williams will settle for a short kick return of 18 yards.
Penalties if they want to have a chance to win this game.
This spread option offense looking for some more balance as Ironman, the tailback, the target on a first down incompletion. Just the 4th miss from Ryder Lyons tonight.
One of the few errant throws, the only errant throw we've seen from him so far tonight. Just got a little bit ahead of himself right there on the throw and ended up being inaccurate.
This is Robbie Larson, who had the 67-yard touchdown grab earlier. Ball got knocked loose, and Grant has the football. Oh, the Pacer defense perhaps getting them right back into this game. Big Tana Hene, the 315-pound nose tackle, fell on the loose ball after Ernie Tophy punched it out of Robbie Larson's right hand.
And that's exactly what you want to do. What do coaches teach when the ball is everywhere? Pursue the ball. You do pursuit drill defensively every single day. This is why. You never know when a fumble is going to happen. A great job knocking the ball out right there by Ernie Tophy and recovering the football. That is the type of momentum swing they needed early on in this game. It's not only a momentum swing, but you give your offense that is struggling so far a short field. So let's see what Shiron Crump can do with his first possession coming out of halftime.
Chris Marshall has to be pleased. The Grant defensive coordinator has seen his team come away with a goal line stop and now forced the first takeaway of the game. And Tyson Griffin Jr. is wrapped up and dropped for a loss as Nick Wake completions, as we just showed you, and none of them to Rosario Edwards or Kobe Shabazz. This is floated over the head of Kobe Shabazz. And we have seen quite a few overthrows from Shiron Crump in his first varsity. Trying to take advantage of the first takeaway tonight. Crump sets his feet, and it's off the fingertips of Shabazz. Would have had a first down and then some. A Sac State commit who's been targeted all night. That was the first one right at the number 1 on his jersey, and he simply dropped it.
Just been that type of night for the Pacer offense so far. Get a nice, easy completion. He makes those catches 10 out of 10 times, but he just was unable to bring that one in. Shabazz hasn't been able to get going, but they still need to find their playmakers. 4th and long here. Let's see what the play call is going to be.
Oh for 1 on 4th down tonight. They need the 34 for a new set of downs. Crump, it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. E.J. Coleman, a senior middle linebacker with an offer from Sacramento State, interest from others, and quite the response from Folsom's Deep Ball 2027. New set of downs after a turnover on downs, and a wide open Jamison Powell gets back to work. Long strides down the sideline, and he tiptoes out inside the 10. 47 yards on the first play of that possession, and it has Folsom on the doorstep.
And it was originally designed to be a pump and go. You can see Ryder Lyons pump, trying to get the ball to Rob Larson. They scored on that a little earlier. But once again, those second reaction throws, that's where Ryder Lyons really becomes special.
A tunnel screen. Isaiah Williams, a sidestep. And the ball came out after he was down, just shy of the goal line. Well, Folsom, they've come up empty each of their last 2 possessions, but they are right on the cusp of a 3-possession lead for the first time tonight. Remember, it was this area of the field where Grant turned away Folsom on 3 consecutive plays to close the second quarter.
They're hoping they have another stop, but it looks like quarterback design run again for Ryder Lyons here, as Grant's trying to get an extra guy off of the field on defense. We've seen that occasionally in the first half.
Illegal substitution. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
You see 51 in white right there. Vlad Diakonov, 4-star USC commit. We showed you the Trojans have the best ranking of any college for the 2026 class right now. Why not just run right behind him? Low snap. Ironman has it, and he's driven down for a loss. The short yardage situations have not come easy for Folsom's offense against the inside of the Pacer defense down around the goal line tonight.
And I'm sure that's going to be one of the points made in the team meeting tomorrow morning for Folsom. They have to be better in what's called the low red zone, inside of the 10, inside of that 5-yard line. They have not been very sharp in that area of the field so far tonight.
This is 3rd and goal, back at the 3. They've gone backwards. A designed run. Ryder Lyons brought down. Nothing doing. It's almost become too predictable with the quarterback runs near the goal line.
Yeah, and this is where you kind of have to really try to dress up some of the stuff, whether it's a pop pass off of it or simply just keep them spread out like you have been doing all night. There's no reason to jumble everything together and really go away from what you have done all night. So I will look for them to probably sneak somebody out on a pop pass off of the play action or the run fake, or just simply keep them spread out, which has been effective for the Folsom offense tonight.
A chance for Grant to turn Folsom away once more. 4th and goal, back at the 5. Lyons drops. He scans. He throws. Wide open. Touchdown, Jason Hill Jr. The Stanford commit from 4 yards out. It's the 2nd touchdown toss for Ryder Lyons tonight, and Folsom gets it done on 4th and goal.
Just simply gave him too much time right there. You can't give a great pocket passer like Lyons that much time, especially in this part of the field. Guys are eventually going to come open. That's a lot to ask of this secondary of Grant to stay with their man for that long. And it was just a miscommunication in man coverage. They went with a mesh concept, which is a lot of intersecting routes over the middle of the field in hopes of somebody popping open. Jason Hill Jr. eventually popped open on that one for the easy touchdown.
Gangley adds the point after try, and 30 in the point column for number 19 Folsom on the road in the 2025 season opener. BYU bound Ryder Lyons with his 2nd touchdown toss of the night to stretch this lead to 23.
He's doing a great job up there so far, but they need an infuse of players. He definitely is going to add to that.
Short kicks. Osiah Noah on the return. And up to the 38-yard line. Hey, these are just some of the Labor Day. A Georgia Tech team that has aspirations to compete for an ACC title this year. And we'll see what that Buffalo program looks like post-Travis Hunter, post-Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, that'll be really, really interesting, especially with what they have coming back already. Jordan Seaton, the left tackle there, a lot of excitement about him heading into a sophomore season.
Well, Grant Union, they've completed just 2 passes tonight and trying to find some sort of continuity in the offensive game. They get 6 yards on the first down carry for Thorne Watson, the 5'10" junior tailback. Still just a 3-possession game here, but Grant Union needs to show some signs of life on this side of the ball. They took over in plus territory their first possession of the third quarter and moved backwards.
Yeah, it just hasn't been a lot of positive moments and momentum so far for this Grant offense after getting off to a fast start early on in the first half. Still trying to get Shiran Crump comfortable in the passing game. They have not been able to connect in any part of the field so far. But now they're in a situation of where that they have to pass the ball in order to catch up in this one.
Another run for Watson. He tries to sidestep contact. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. So it's 3rd and 4 after a couple runs for Thorne Watson, who transferred from Oak Ridge earlier this year.
And Folsom knows that they have to pass the ball, so they just don't have a lot of respect for their passing game right now. They haven't shown any reason for them to come out of the man coverage that they have been playing a lot so far tonight. So they're just loading the box, running a bunch of stunts up front, trying to stop this run game. They've been able to do that successfully so far. But Grant has to figure out a way to get this passing game going.
Shiran Crump making his first career varsity start tonight, just 2 of 12 throwing the football. There have been some costly misfires. There have been some drops. It has been stunning to see Rosario Edwards, the 4-star tight end, go this long into this game without a catch.
5-minute play clock running out. Timeout. Grant.
.37, Folsom in front. The number 19 team in the country, taking care of business on the road.
Think of college football, you think of Lee Corso. It goes beyond the headgear, the show. He just symbolizes everything that's right with college football. He's had an effect on so many lives.
3rd and 5 for Grant Union out of the timeout, and another misfire intended for Kobe Shabazz, who leads the team in targets tonight, but yet to make a catch. And here comes special teams to punt it away.
It's just a disappointing night overall offensively for Grant. Just not playing with any pace, not able to get anything going in the passing game. Too many penalties and a lot of missed opportunities. That's been the story of the night for them overall.
Think coach is going to wear the horns next week, or
yeah,
or rep the national champs?
No idea. We'll see.
So Noah, who's a tight end, a defensive end, and also the punter for Grant Union High School, summoned again and tasked with trying to keep it away from Jamison Powell, who had a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown to begin the game. And perhaps a little too much on that one as it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. But I guess it's better than putting it into the hands of Jamison Powell.
Yeah, it is. Just because he already has a long punt return for a touchdown already tonight, we know how dangerous he is with the ball in his hands.
Well, the lead is 23 for Folsom. They led by 16 coming out of halftime, and Ryder Lyons has continued his dominance into his senior year. The BYU commit has started each of the last 2 seasons and poised for his best one yet at the high school level.
Yeah, I agree. 46 touchdown passes a season ago, over 3,000 passing yards. I wouldn't be surprised if he surpasses those totals at the end of the year this season. Just so calm, collected, very poised as well, never in a rush, and he has a really strong arm. We see he's been able to showcase that in the future. I think they're going to continue to try to get him involved in the quarterback design run game.
Fielded his first college offer from BYU in 8th grade and committed earlier this summer. There's a deep ball, dangerous pass. Robbie Larson had gotten tangled up, and Jalen Raybon in coverage was the closest to it. But there is a flag down back near where Lions let that one go. There is an injured pacer down.
Offense. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout for an player.
Folsom has not been immune to the penalty troubles themselves. That's Kenny Williams, junior cornerback. These corners have been tested a lot tonight.
Yeah, they have not had any issues with trying to go down the field. Ryder Lyons has done a great job of connecting with Rob Larson on some different patterns down the field. We saw one earlier in the first half on the wheel route down the sideline, and this shows that they have a very unique connection as well. The consensus 3-star recruit, I have a feeling that he may add another star after this game. There's going to be some other schools that are knocking on his door after this one. Already has offers from schools like UCLA, Wazoo, Arizona State, and then also Oklahoma State as well. So some really impressive, powerful offers for Larson already.
1st and 20 after the holding penalty, and it's Larson targeted. Does a nice job to hold on to the football and has it across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards on first down. Starting to use Kobe Shabazz defensively. The top receiver from a season ago for Grant Union. It's Williams on the tunnel screen and back past that original line of scrimmage to set up 3rd down.
It's been the same game plan for them when they go tempo. Just trying to get the ball out quick to those perimeter weapons, whether it's Isaiah Williams, Jason Hill Jr., or Jamison Powell. Just trying to get the ball in his playmakers' hands. Crucial 3rd down here upcoming for the Folsom offense.
Grant trying to get off the field. Jamison Powell, the Ole Miss commit in motion. Lions flushed out. Escapes. Keeps it alive. Now throws across his body and has Jason Hill Jr. Oh, there's that Houdini stuff from Ryder Lyons.
He does a great job right there.
Marker down on a play that doesn't go very far to Robbie Larson. Well, regardless of how this game shakes out, when the clock hits zeros at the conclusion of the 4th quarter, I think both head coaches will address the penalty issues Monday at practice.
No doubt in my mind. There's going to be a lot of discipline in the conditioning aspect for both of these teams to try to clean up a lot of the penalties that they had in this one.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty. First down. 51 can stay in the game.
Frustrating night for Carl Reed. He wanted his team to be physical, but perhaps at times too physical tonight.
Yeah, you have to know the fine line of being physical, but also being disciplined as well. And that starts off in pregame. We saw what they were.
Defense. On 2nd and long, Lions on the move. Finds Jamison Powell, and he spins down at the 20, a few yards shy of the 1st down.
Just getting a quick rollout right there by Lions, being able to show off some of their arm strength outside the pocket. A lot of quick decisions. They go hurry up here. Crucial 3rd down.
Lions on the money. Isaiah Williams inside the 10. And Folsom's threatening once more. Ernie Toffe finally brought him down. At least the next play, but I mean, we haven't talked a ton about the guys up front for Folsom. And we mentioned the left tackle Vlad Diakonov. He's 26th at his position in the ESPN 300. 214th overall player, 4-star, headed to USC at 6'6", 275.
And he plays both sides. He doesn't just play left tackle. You can see him in at right tackle on this one. But getting that type of experience very later on in his high school career is going to pay off for him. Lions on the move.
And a little too tall for Bronson Bambino, the sophomore tailback who is targeted. Also Malachi Coleman on that offensive front for Folsom, a right tackle at 6'2", 280, with an offer from Sac State. Joey Garcia, the right guard, a senior, strong kid who can squat more than 450 pounds.
Showing the big ugly some love. I love it. Those are the guys we very rarely ever talk about, but they are the engine of this offense, keeping Rider Lions clean in the pocket.
Inside run, Joseph Eierman trying to pick his way. And not much doing against the inside of Grant Union's defense. So it brings up 3rd and goal for Folsom. With 3 minutes left to play in this 3rd quarter, Bulldogs trying to stretch this to a 4-possession lead. Grant Union's lone touchdown came back in the opening quarter on their 2nd possession. Been a quiet night for that offense since then.
They leaned on the run game heavily inside of the 10-yard line so far. I would expect them to find somebody in the passing game here.
Isaiah Williams in motion. Lions hits him out to the flat, a sidestep, and he will cruise. The Nevada commit, only a couple hours east of here, with a 5-yard touchdown snag, and Folsom a point after away from stretching this lead to 30.
They just went with a quick short motion there. It's called an exit motion, something Sean McVay with the Rams made notable. Whenever a team plays man coverage, you want to use that exit motion or a yo-yo motion. There's a lot of different terms for it. All they did was bring him in really quickly, trying to shield, use those other receiving routes as a shield and get the ball out quickly. But what made that play so special is Isaiah Williams making that play and making the defender miss in space. Those are the things you really can't game plan for or coach. That's just playmakers making plays.
Gangley knocks it through, a 30-point lead for Folsom. Rider Lions has now accounted for, if Grant can't respond, how much more we'll see from Rider Lions tonight in a 30-point game.
Yeah, and you know, Coach Doherty talked about Brody Rudnicki. He's no slouch either, and said he's not just any backup quarterback. We have the same expectations for him as we have Rider Lions when he goes in and he orchestrates these offense.
Brody Rudnicki, class of 2027 quarterback. See him right next to Rider Lions, 10 in white. May get a chance at a couple possessions before it's all said and done in Sacramento tonight. Now Folsom, after leading 23-7 at halftime, they have scored both touchdowns of this 3rd quarter, and a fair catch called for and eventually made on a couple bounces to Sosaya Noah. Hey, look, we're very excited about this. It's the all-new ESPN app, and it's the best way to watch sports. All of ESPN, all in one place, with live games, live stats. Plus, you can track your fantasy teams and personalize with your favorite leagues, teams, and players. How many fantasy leagues are you in this year?
I can't count.
Really?
There's so many.
I always cap myself at 3.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you work as you do and I do college football on Saturdays, sometimes you forget about everything happening the next morning. Got to set that lineup.
Yeah, I get that notification every morning about setting my lineup. I got to make sure I set all those things when I'm getting off the road on all these college games on Saturday that I'm traveling. So if I forget to set my lineup, I apologize to everybody that's in my league.
Can you count the number of fantasy leagues you're in on both of your hands?
Yes,
okay.
I can.
All right. If you went past 10, I don't know how you could possibly keep track of that. Shiran Crump, and finally a catch for Kobe Shabazz. He is belted after a catch and run of 8 yards. Big hit delivered by E.J. Coleman. Those two might be teammates together at Sacramento State in a couple years. Shabazz is committed to Sac State, and Coleman's loan offer right now is from Sac State.
It would be a great get for that program if they're able to get either one or even both of those players. E.J. Coleman has been terrific so far tonight.
Brennan Marion, who put himself on the map with his go-go offense under Barry Odom at UNLV the last 2 years, took the open head coaching job at Sac State last winter. And they've already made some big moves on the recruiting trails and trying to keep local talent right here in Sacramento. Intercepted, and it's E.J. Coleman. The first takeaway of the season for Folsom's defense.
We spoke him up. We just said his name. Terrific play by E.J. Coleman. It's not only against the run where he shows up and he's physical, stepping downhill to stop ball carries, but he's also really good in pass coverage as well. Terrific.
Both defenses with their first takeaways of this new season in this third quarter. Rider Lions still out there and back to work with a dart over the middle to Robbie Larson, who's been his favorite target tonight.
In football, we call those sudden change plays. As you can see, as an offensive coordinator, I know after we get a turnover like that, I want to take a deep shot down the field. And they ran the receiver down the field. Their Rider Lions looked for him, but he didn't like what he saw. He readjusts his eyes and then comes back over the middle to deliver a strike.
7 grabs now for over 130 yards for the junior Robbie Larson tonight. Lions well protected again. Flushed out. Being chased with a marker down. And it's a little too low for Jamison Powell.
Hold it. Offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Malachi Coleman, the junior right tackle. The holding penalty for Folsom.
And that's the challenging part for offensive linemen, just because you don't know when the quarterback is breaking contain. So he's just shuffling his feet, and he sees the defensive lineman break away, but he's not looking back at the quarterback to see him escape the pocket. He's just doing his job trying to block. That's why you saw him really putting his palms in the air. Like me, I can't believe that I got a holding call right there.
Kane Fullwider, sophomore defensive end, had his sights set on Rider Lions. Right now has an offer from Colorado State. Jamison Powell with another snag, and it's right near a Folsom first down. They'll give it to him. 10 yards. It was Powell that opened the scoring way back in the first quarter with a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown. And since then, Folsom's offense has pulled away. 30-point lead in the final minute of the third quarter from Sacramento. Week 0 action tonight. Lions in some trouble here, and down he goes. Another relentless pressure. They just keep bringing them on that Grant defense as Ernie Toffe and Kane Fullwider combined for the sack. It's a loss of 9 yards.
And that's one of the few times we've been able to see Grant's defense get consistent pressure with 4 up front to really distract and fluster Rider Lions. You would like to see some of that earlier on in the game, but it's good to see that they're still playing with high energy out there on defense to create the negative play.
So now 3rd and 19. And that's over the head of Joseph Ironman, the tailback, the intended target out of the backfield. And might we see Folsom punt? Something that has not happened tonight.
Looks like they're keeping the offense.
Well, I mean, when you converted from 23 yards out for a 2-point conversion like Folsom did in the second quarter, 18 yards doesn't seem all that far away.
So something to watch here. They have 3rd down on the markers on the field, but we have it as 4th down up here. So let's see how this turns out.
I think it is 4th down.
I believe so as well.
Lions on the money. It's Larson. And he's got the first down. Well, 3rd down, 4th down, doesn't really matter when you pick it up. The reliable Robbie Larson.
Here again, so let's see how the execution looks here to cap off this drive.
Lions sets his feet, finds Robbie Larson, who breaks away for another Folsom touchdown. A 20-yard pitch and catch to open the fourth, as Ryder Lyons has his fourth touchdown toss of the night.
That did not take long at all coming into the fourth quarter. Being able to just toss the ball out to Rob Larson, who's been excellent tonight, and go in to create another touchdown for Folsom.
And that will get Lions north of 400 passing yards on the night. A nice reward for a guy who came in with over 8,000 yards of total offense in his 2 years as the starter. Now, his older brother plays at USC. He's a tight end for Lincoln Riley and company down south. And I think many thought he'd be USC bound as well. But Fran Crump in his first varsity start uncomfortable, and they have not looked back. And Kobe Shabazz been quiet tonight. The Sacramento State-bound receiver on the kick return hit hard across the 20. E.J. Coleman, who's had a big second half. The interception on Grant Union's last possession delivered a big hit there on special teams.
It's good to see him still playing hard out here. You can see he was trying to go to the house on that one.
Turn to return. Holding. Return team. 10-yard penalty. First down. 20.
So despite a frustrating night, it's still good to see the Grant marquee players still out here playing hard. Kobe Shabazz still out here making returns really hard. Zoe Edwards had a great block on the return, blocking this guy out of bounds down here too. So even though it's a frustrating night, there is some positive things to take away from this game for Grant.
And you'll notice this clock continues to move, and it will until the finish line, because Folsom has grown this lead north of 35 points, which is the California rule in high school football, if both teams agreed to it. And it appears both Grant and Folsom are okay with running this clock to the end of the fourth quarter. Now for Grant Union, I mean, this was a team that took its lumps early last season. They began 3-3, but then they won 9 games in a row to capture a state title. So not all is lost here tonight, but certainly a lot of room for improvement for this Pacer group.
And I'm sure that's exactly what Coach Reed will talk about in the team meeting tomorrow or on Monday, that they've been in this situation before, even going back to last season. Week 1 doesn't define your season. You have to go in, grind the film, correct the mistakes, and you can't let that linger into week 2, especially with them having such a difficult schedule this season. You can't let a bad game in week 1 linger into that next game.
A physical 17-yard run for Thorne Watson on first down. And certainly Shiran Crump will get more comfortable as the season rolls along. Saw time in 4 games as the backup to Luke Alexander last year, as Grant Union would go on to win the California 2AA state championship. 15 different state titles crowned to California high school football programs that support 11-man football each year, and Grant won last year in the 4th highest tier. Another run for Watson, and a few yards on that carry. The schedule doesn't get any easier from here for Grant Union. They'll welcome Central East from Fresno next week, and later in September they'll take on national powerhouse De La Salle from Concord here in Northern California, and San Diego powerhouse Lincoln before the start of league play. Carl Reed says the tough scheduling is intentional. They don't feel like they get tested a whole lot once they get into league play, a lot of the local public schools around here. So they try to schedule out of the region to make their team better for the postseason, and it worked for them last year.
Which is the smart thing to do. You face some early adversity, just like what they're doing tonight and what they went through last season. And what you're hoping is the team grows together and they get better and are able to overcome some of those early lumps that they faced during the earlier portions of the season.
Dante Kendrick, Lua DeBerry combined to bring down Watson and bring up 3rd down with this running clock the rest of the way, with Folsom's lead north of 35. It was only 23-7, a 2-possession game at halftime. And there was a key moment early in that 3rd quarter. Second play from scrimmage, Folsom turned over the football. Grant Union took over in plus territory with a chance to get back within a possession. But they went 4 and out, and Folsom really started to pull away from there.
I thought that was the turning point of the entire second half, or excuse me, the entire game, just because they needed to figure out a way to get points on that drive, whether it was a field goal or a touchdown. But they just were unable to get anything going on that drive, and that's been the story of the night.
This is 3rd down and 7 with that first down line near the 37-yard line. Chance for Crump to throw. Instead, he'll step up and run. Eludes contact. And then he's shoved out of bounds by Nick Wegener, well shy of that first down. A tough situation for Shiran Crump to step into. His first varsity start comes against a top 20 team nationally.
But these are the moments at the end of the season that you're going to look back on, and you're glad that these moments happen, just because that's part of the growth and the maturation of a young quarterback.
I think Carl Reed more so frustrated with the way his team has performed tonight, and perhaps voicing some of that displeasure to the officials after that last marker. And you get the sense that the unsportsmanlike penalty, even though our mic is going in and out there, is probably on the coaching staff. There is such a community involvement with Grant Union High School football. Carl Reed played for Grant, as did his co-head coach Sidquan Thompson, who played collegiately, was an All-American cornerback at Cal, spent a couple years with the Denver Broncos, was a 7th-round draft pick out of California during his playing days. And the late Mike Albergini, who is remembered around these parts. They've named the stadium after him. Passed on after such a terrific career here at Grant Union. You think about what he was able to accomplish, the late, great Mike Albergini. Grant Union still, since the beginning of the CIF Open Division State Championship in 2008, they're the only Northern California program not named De La Salle to win a CIF Open Division title. They beat Long Beach Poly back in 2008, did Grant Union. At the time, Long Beach Poly had put the most alums among any high school in the country in the National Football League. There's some great history with this school in college football. And sure enough, Brody Rudnicki, backup quarterback, takes over for Rider Lions, and Folsom picks up right where it left off. A beautiful drop in the bucket. It's Ari Acuna with his first catch, and the Bulldogs are right back on the doorstep after a 43-yard completion.
As we talked about a little bit earlier when we were spotlighting Rudnicki, they have the same expectations for him as they do Rider Lions. As you can see, the play calls don't change. The mentality of the offense does not change either. And Coach Doherty talked about he's just not a backup. He's a very important part of our offense.
His second year with the program, spent his freshman season at Oak Ridge. Arizona State, BYU, Cal, Oklahoma State, among others, have extended scholarship offers his way. Rudnicki back to the air, and this time incomplete, looking for Bronson Bambino. There's a marker down in the end zone away from where that football was thrown.
Just another unnecessary roughness penalty. Unsportsmanlike. Just unnecessary stuff after the whistle by Grant.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. Ball down, out, second down.
Remember, there were 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against Grant Union 30 minutes before the game.
Yeah.
Which was probably a precursor to what was to come.
Set the tone of the entire game, and once again, the coaches can allow that type of stuff, and I'm sure that's something that will be stressed by this coaching staff going into next week.
Rudnicki barreling across the goal line for a Folsom touchdown. Now the junior on his first drive of 2025 pounds it in from a few yards out. Folsom was so close to an undefeated season last year. They finished 12-2, lost in the Northern California Regional Championship. Both of their losses last year by 1 point. Doesn't get much closer than that.
Not at all. Just a phenomenal season all around for them, and they've established arguably the best program in Northern California. Coach Doherty has done a heck of a job not only turning around this program, but now getting it to the point of where it's one of the premier programs in Northern Cal.
I remember what he told us earlier this week. He feels like this team is further along than last year's team was at the start of the season.
And that's something that really surprised me, especially with how good they were a season ago. But that just goes to show you his expectations for this year's team.
51-7, 2.5 minutes to play in Sacramento. Now Folsom with 43 unanswered points. A lopsided score in Sacramento tonight. Kobe Shabazz with a nice kick return across the 35. Hey, coming up on Sports Center following our game, college football is back. Chris Sylvester with Jordan Reed, our producer Scott Epstein, director Tyler Honeycutt. With a running clock here as Folsom has pulled away late from Grant Union in a matchup of Sacramento area powerhouses. These two programs separated by just 20 miles. Deep ball. There's Zoe Edwards. Well, it took quite a while to get the four-star overall recruit in the ESPN Junior 300. They're going Edwards' way again, and a ton of contact in the end zone, but no marker. Ari Acuna, who had a big catch on Folsom's last offensive possession, playing both ways and provided the coverage. So running clock here. This is probably the final play of the game if they snap it again. Shotgun snap to Shiran Crump, throwing Edwards' way, and he makes the catch in the end zone. A silver lining for Grant Union as the four-star tight end hauls in a touchdown as time expires. He had 51 catches, 14 touchdowns last year, and while he'll be disappointed with the scoreboard result, perhaps something for Shiran Crump and Zoe Edwards and company to build on into a tough non-league schedule ahead.
Without question, just get your playmakers the ball, and that's exactly what Zoe Edwards is. He is their best player on offense, or something for them to build on going into next week after a disappointing night.